today we are going to be making a rag rug. I'm going to be very honest with you, this is not a difficult craft, but it is very time consuming. The supplies that we'll need for this are the rug gripper and then lots of fabric. So we just have these rags that are dyed different colors. So what we'll need to do first is just cut them into strips. So if you're ready, let's get crafting. So it doesn't need to be perfect, but we are aiming for an inch or so by about 5 inches. So it doesn't really matter what size you go with, but you do want them to be similar in size. So mine's about like this. You want it long enough that you can tie a knot, but not too long that it just flops over. So I think this is about right. So we'll go through and decide what color fabric we want, and then we'll cut it all up into strips. And then once we get that cut, we'll just start tying it on the gripper. Okay, so now that we have most of our fabric cut into strips, all we really do is stick it through, just pick a starting point, and then we stick it through, and then just tie a knot at the top. So the squares are pretty small, so it might take a little wiggling to get it through. But then really all you do once you get it through is just tie a knot in the top. Some of my strips are longer than others, unfortunately, but that's fine. We will get it all tied and see how it looks at the end, and if we need to go through and trim some, we can. But really, this is a technique. Just stick it through and then tie a knot, and at the end it'll just hopefully be this fluffy, cute little rug. It'll look kind of weird until we get it started to fill in. But we just will overlap. Not sure if you can see this for sure, but we'll go, so this next one, we'll take it through that first hole again and then into the next hole. So they'll all overlap just a little bit. Otherwise we'll see the spaces. So some of the thicker strips might be a little bit harder to get them in. We'll just wiggle and we'll make it work. This gripper is fairly fragile, so just be careful that you're not being too rough with it. If any of these little pieces tear, it'll cover and I'm sure it'll be fine. But ideally, we don't want that to happen, so we'll try to be gentle and avoid that. So as you can tell, these are different lengths, but that's okay. When we get to the end, we'll just trim the ones that sort of stick out and don't quite match. So really that's a technique. Just pick your color pattern, whatever you want to do, and then just go through, tie knots on each strip of fabric around the square. And that's it. It'll just fill in more as you go. So again, this is pretty tedious. It'll be pretty time consuming. So good project to do maybe while you're sitting in front of the TV or just looking for a bit of a mindless task. Okay, so here is my finished rag rug. A couple things to keep in mind while you're doing this project. First of all, it is very time consuming. It's not difficult to do, but it does take a lot of time. So maybe a good project to do sitting in front of the TV or just kind of hanging out. When you cut your strips, I think it can be helpful to do different lengths, different widths, just to give it a little bit more variety, different colors and textures. But that's it. Thanks so much for watching and keep crafting.